Hey guys, I'm Brandon Bergeron again out of the Academy in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today I have here with me Dan. He's going to help me demonstrate to you a technique that I'm calling the Hangman's Noose. Alright, so let's get started. So the Hangman's Noose works really good from side control. It's also something that you can set up from mount and then dismount to use to finish it. Okay? So it's going to start out by me ripping out my lapel. This is going to be a choke using my own lapel. So I'm in crossbody, come in, rip this out, get it nice and untucked, right? The back too. If I leave the back tucked in, sometimes I can't pull the lapel out quite as much. So if I can, I try to untuck both lapels, or if they just come untucked in the course of rolling, it works great then too. This is a great technique to hit after you've been rolling 3 or 4 minutes. The gis are all untucked, everything's loose, maybe your belt totally came undone, whatever. Anyway, now that my lapel's untucked all the way around, now I can get my lapel way out to here, right? So that's kind of important to know too. If you are doing a technique that uses the end of your lapel, the more your gi is untucked, the more lapel you can use, okay? So let's get started here with the technique. I'm in my typical crossbody position, got my arm underneath his head, get this underhook, right? Traditional, guys like to pressure a lot with the shoulder here. This is a very, very common position. And you're going to be able to hit this attack pretty easy from here, all right? Also, note that I want to make, you can also disguise this technique too. Anyway, I'll get to that later. What I want to do, I'm going to be pressure, right, heavy on his chest in your side control. I'm going to take my right hand out from behind his head. I'm going to grab the tip of my own lapel here, just like this, stretch it out. I'm going to come underneath his head with it, just like this. I'm going to pass this lapel to my left hand, which is right, got the underhook here, just like this. And now with this hand free, I like to kick out, kind of do a Kaseki position where my left hip is on the ground, because I want to create this opening right here. If you guys can see this space, that's where my arm's going to go through. Okay, so I'm here playing tight. I've just passed this. Sit to my left hip so I can sit back a little bit, make this opening. My right hand is going to feed through here. It's going to grab the tip of my lapel right here, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to square back up, take my left hand, put it to this side of his hip now. I'm going to take it to the same side, and I'm going to try to take my head and drop it in this hip, this far hip right here, the near hip from my perspective, far for yours. Right here, I'm going to drop my head here, and then as I do this, I'm going to kind of give myself Kimura pressure, right? So I've got the gi grip here. I'm going to try to pull down with on the lapel here. As I raise my elbow up, that's going to put a lot of pressure on his neck. Just here, drop the head here. Get the choke right there, again. All right? Now the way you can do this and kind of be sneaky with it, I'm playing here, I'm pressuring. I make him look the other way. As I'm driving my shoulder into his face, I can kind of grab my lapel right here, come underneath, and feed right here, and he doesn't even see me doing this, right? He's all worried about his pressure here. As I feed this lapel, I take the pressure off, and he wants to try to look into me, and he doesn't even see this lapel here, right? So I'm going to switch, and he doesn't know the lapel's here until about this point, where my arm is now putting pressure on the lapel. By that point, it's going to be too late. I put my arm through, and I grab that arm on this side of his hip to keep him from walking into me, right? If I do this, he can just keep walking with me, and I want to prevent that. So I'm going to be here, keep pressure on his hip this way, drop my head to this side, hand down, elbow up to finish the choke. Let's look at this from another angle. Again, I'm here in my traditional side control, underhook, head control. Like I said, if I want to be sneaky with this, pressure, 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 make him look the other way. Take my hand out, still pressuring with my arm, with my shoulder here, and grabbing the tip of the lapel right here. Underneath the head. Take that pressure off so it kind of looks into you. Feed right here, and he doesn't know this lapel's right here. He doesn't know I'm setting anything up. I'm going to switch to my left hip. The reason I do that is to give myself space to feed my arm through. If I'm here and I try to feed through, I'm fighting against my own body, and the hole is very small. By kicking my left hip, this hole gets very big. Come right underneath, my arm goes all the way through, just like this, behind this lapel right here. Right there. I feed that to my right hand here. Kick back to his normal right square side control here. This left hand here. This side of his hip. Gonna rotate around, put my head into his left hip, drive my hand down, raise my elbow up, and get the tap. Alright, so last week I showed that using the lapel to secure the arm bar and get the choke, and this is another great choke you can do using the lapel. There's a lot of great stuff you can use the lapel. Like I said last week, I encourage you to go out, play with it, and explore it, okay? So guys, I want you to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, or like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Again, I'm posting a lot of these videos. I think a lot of them are going to work for a lot of people out there, and you can really add it and get your game to be pretty dangerous, all right? So until then, I will see you guys next time.